Hello, fellow theme park enthusiasts! Want to know everything that's changed in Universal Studios Florida this week? Well, I am your guy, for I am Winu, your weekly Universal news and updates, and we have a pretty long video of news ahead of us, so let's not slack off and get straight into my first topic. General news! A topic that actually has a surprising amount about the VelociCoaster this week. So this week, actual riders got to ride the VelociCoaster. This was earlier in the week, but it's really amazing to see people actually get on this ride, as it just shows us that we're that much closer. Now this could technically mean that we could soon be seeing soft openings of the ride. However, knowing how Universal handled Hagrid's with no soft openings happening, it's also very possible that those will not be happening for this VelociCoaster. Later in the week, it was figured out that some of the test rides were for promotional filming, as nobody in the carts had masks on. Obviously, if this weren't for promotional filming, Universal would have people have masks on, as the CDC guidelines state they have to. So, a hot set was at the VelociCoaster for promotional filming. This is kind of obvious, as people were testing the ride without masks on for promotional filming, and we're really hoping to see an announcement trailer soon, as this is more than likely what it's going to be for. So also, an article about the process of the VelociCoaster came out, and it has some interesting information. It tells us that the ride was first worked on in 2017, and that there is a small surprise for the ride that is under everything that we've seen on the surface. And as a true Jurassic fan myself, I am super excited to see what this actually is, because I don't think that the developers of a ride this big will let us fans down. It also tells us that the ride is liked by Steven Spielberg and Colin Trevorrow. I'm sorry if I mispronounced those names, however, I think most people know who they are. They are both very famous directors and also two people who were the main directors of Jurassic Park. So it's good to know that people who have such amazing visions and were the ones who made these movies come to life agree with the ride and its development. However, the most important thing that this article said is that it teased that the ride would be opening in a few months, with an announcement coming soon, meaning that the ride could open before the predicted summer opening time, which is actually crazy. Like, the fact that this ride might be opening earlier, I'm not 100% sure if they'd actually do this, because I feel like that Universal would want to open this when people can actually come to the theme parks and COVID is over. However, with these times being weird and not as many people being able to come to the parks, it really could go either way. So lastly, for the VelociCoaster, the waterfall on the site flowed this week for the first time in a while. It's not anything huge, but it's cool to see that some functional things in the rides have been happening. So on to some achievements. Men in Black Alien Attack reached having ridden 100 million riders this week, which is just insane. And by looking at how busy that queue normally is, and also how long that ride has been open, you can really get an idea of how big an achievement like this is for a ride. So another thing is that the smoking area near Transformers has been temporarily removed due to Mardi Gras. It's been removed, so if you need to do anything that includes this area, you'll need to find another place. Also, new plexiglass dividers were placed in Starbucks, so if you want to order your Frappuccino with double whipped cream ice shaked upside down, you can do it next to somebody else this time. Also, the Born Stuntacular is now seating every row. This kind of just proves how Universal has been letting up on the CDC guidelines just a tad bit, and I don't really know if I agree or disagree with it, because as much as I'm scared of the virus, I want the parks to reopen. So that's kind of just a thing for you to decide your opinion on. On Wednesday, workers at Conficesto Grill were standing outside and giving out free cups of water. It was quite hot on this day, so it makes sense they would do this. However, oddly enough, with my experiences in the parks, I've never seen this. So I'm kind of interested to see that they're doing this. However, it's quite cool that they are, and it's really good because in Florida it is essential to stay hydrated. So also this week, the food truck was moved to New York. I'm pretty sure this was moved from Kids Zone. However, there was two of them, and one of them left and one of them moved here, and I'm not 100% sure which is which. Also, the pressed penny machine in the Quickie Mart in Springfield was replaced by a cooler of energy drinks. Attraction teams members now have new Masks Up vests, which is quite helpful because it means that if any of them are around you, guests will have a often reminder to wear their masks. Deadlight Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls went down on Wednesday due to technical issues. Now, this isn't very abnormal. This ride, along with the other water rides, end up going down quite a bit and have been going down more and more recently. I'm not really sure why. It's probably just wear and tear, but it's not really anything different to see. So this week, Bruce the Shark, which by the way is the shark photo op by where the Jaws ride used to be, was in need of some repairs and had fences surrounding him. However, the next day he would be completely removed and the fences would go with him. So the shark isn't there, however your photo op will be back as this is only temporary. Speaking of only temporary, a bunch of stuff that's only going to be around for a temporary season of festivities can be found in my next topic. Construction, my other insanely long topic for this video. So let's just get started so this doesn't have to stretch on for too long. So a bunch of stuff for Mardi Gras happened, starting with Mardi Gras facades went up on the stage of Music Plaza Stadium. This looks super cool, and the giant beads really put a good touch. I'm not sure if this has been around before, however I don't believe so, as this event has been changed for this year. Secondly, the Mardi Gras Tribute Store facade was started on Wednesday and will be finished on Thursday. This facade looks really cool as its older, rustic theme, and I think that it looks just nice. It's very different from the other things we've seen, which were completely clean and just sharp looking, whereas this is more meant to look where it's older, and I think it matches the theme for Mardi Gras perfectly. So also, even more tents for Mardi Gras were added to the Studios Park, and later in the week, some facades of these locations would be added. And as the week progressed, more details were added to these facades. I know that this is a big update, but basically, more tents were added, facades were put on them, and those facades were more detailed, which all of these look amazing, and I think that they're going to be amazing when Mardi Gras opens in just a week. Like, that is so fast! So also, Cafe La Bamba had an odd archway structure appear, hinting that something will happen here for Mardi Gras. This is where the structure went when the skeleton bar for Halloween Horror Nights 2020 came, so I'm really excited to see if they'll do something, as when they included the Halloween Horror Nights thing, they actually had Mardi Gras stuff in that to add to the display. So maybe they'll actually complete the Mardi Gras display and have it be all Mardi Gras. We'll just have to wait to find out, but I'm excited to see how this progresses. So on to the VelociCoaster. This week, a bunch of construction walls here were taken down, showing us the show building, more plants, and making the paths feel more open. The removal went from one gate to Burger Digs, so this was a big construction wall takedown, and almost all the construction walls around the site are gone now, which is amazing. We'll actually be able to see what the ride will look like in its entirety very, very soon, or at least I hope. So also for this ride, a sign was spotted at the entrance of the Q building. This is a sign that has the name of the VelociCoaster, and it's really cool to see this, as this means that it now has an official sign, and we'll finally get to see where the entrance to this ride actually is, as it's been a confusing and debated thing in the theme park community for quite a while now. So the Osprey has officially lost the war this week, as some of its nest materials have been seen on protective nets of the ride. It hasn't made a nest recently, as the ride has been constantly testing, and though it's an end to glory, I think that it's probably for the better, as we wouldn't want anything bad happening to the Ospreys, and we definitely want the VelociCoaster operating. So also, a bunch of promotional pictures were released this week for the coaster, but only one told us something that we might not know. It says that you can enter the paddock and get face-to-face with the Velociraptors, and this could say that the ride gets close to them, but could also mean that another raptor encounter-like experience could be coming. I believe that this is just them putting a fancy way of how close you get to the raptors on the ride, but I mean, have your hopes high, and if you get a little bit disappointed, it's not the end of the world, because I'm sure this coaster is going to be the best thing ever. So this week, in a smaller update, numbers were added to the entrances on the paddock wall. This isn't anything crazy, it's just a detail that I also very much could have missed and has been here for a while, but I believe that this is new. Also, more planes were placed on the back of the site of the VelociCoaster in front of the Discovery Center. It just throws in the vegetation, and I'm really interested to see what the view from here is going to look like once this is done. Like, are you going to see the VelociCoaster, just trees? I guess we'll have to figure out once this place reopens. Also, workers were seen on top of the Discovery Center overlooking the coaster. They're probably just looking at everything that they need to know, but it's cool to see that people are overlooking this project as it is continued, and I know I've said this multiple times already, but I'm so excited for this to open, so yay. Finally, for the VelociCoaster, some of the cover from the raptor on a pillar in front of the ride came up, showing us some raptor toes. It really doesn't give us anything crazy, it just shows us that this raptor is going to be gray, meaning it's very possible that it could be blue, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions from something as small as raptor feet. On to some more random updates in this area, we can see that on Saturday, Jurassic Park River Adventure would end up reopening for its refurbishments. These refurbishments repainted the dinosaurs and also left the Ultrasaurus not moving with a temporary tarp covering its head. More boats were also added to help the ride with the capacity and the amount of people that were on it. Also, when the ride was still closed, water was seen being added to it, meaning that the water could have been completely refreshed or just had a nice refill, which this ride uses a crazy amount of water, so it's just gonna have to be refreshed, because I don't think they'd put in the amount that's needed for this ride, as that would cost them a fortune. Also, new Jurassic Park manhole covers can be found in Isla Nublar. This isn't anything crazy, but this is what I love about my channel, as I can point out little details and it'll still be relevant. So here, have some amazing Jurassic Park manhole covers. Also, the patio in Hogsmeade that's close to the VelociCoaster tried to use plants as a new railing, only to have them removed soon after. It could have just been temporary or whatever. I don't really know what Universal was planning on doing here, but they certainly came up with some stuff. So that's everything that I have for construction. So that means we can only do one thing and move on to my next topic. Food and restaurants, one of two insanely short topics, so let's just get this straight out of the way. This week, a new drink of coquito with rum is now served in the parks. Sorry if I mispronounced that, I am not the best with pronouncing alcoholic drinks. So, that's over. Let's just throw on and go to my next very short topic. Some UOAP news, and as I already stated, this topic is short. However, to be honest, when is this topic ever not short? So, this week, a new Universal Orlando Annual Pass soda cup was revealed that is covered with simple sketches of food items. It will be released on February the 1st, which means that it came out yesterday, if you're watching this the day it was uploaded, and it looks pretty cool. So, if you're a pass holder, I would suggest going and buying this, because this is a bargain for these cups. Trust me, they're amazing, and they help you stay hydrated for a much cheaper price. Speaking of things that have prices, we can take a look at my next topic. Merchandise, the final topic of this video, and I'm kind of happy because this is going to be like 15 minutes long. So, this week, 3 new masks were made available, being 2 Velociraptor masks and the Mardi Gras mask. You know, if I got the option, I would totally buy all of these. I love the looks of them all, And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I am a Jurassic Park fan, so I would love these raptor masks. So also, the Mardi Gras mask was added to the online store, along with the Every Flavor Bean mask and Chocolate Frog mask. So a bunch of masks are now on the online store, and if I want to buy that Mardi Gras one, I actually can now. Also, this week Universal put their first ever military special pass into action, giving military workers and veterans the chance to buy a 2 or 3 park season pass with no blockout dates for $199.99 or $234.99 depending on how many parks. Also, special vacation packages were put in place, giving military personnel the access to a military create-your-own vacation package and a Wizarding World of Harry Potter exclusive military package, both of which have some crazy benefits. Also, military personnel can now save up to 40% off on select hotels or lower discounts on other select hotels. So that's everything that I found this week at Universal Studios Orlando Resort. Wow, this was a long one, as this video is going to be over 16 minutes long, but if you made it this far, I am honestly quite impressed, as most people leave my video within the first 15 seconds. If you made it this far, however, I'm sure you've liked and subscribed, and if not, please do, it helps my channel out. And now that it all is said and done, this is Winu, signing off.